been a truly tragic day for America. Americans will always have the freedom of speech and the constitutional right to protest, but violence in any form is absolutely unacceptable. It is anti-American and must be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law.
I stand by my comments that I made on the House floor.
That was Congresswoman Elise Stefanik on the night of January 6th, hours after the Capitol rioters breached the House chamber that she was physically in, and objected to the certification of the 2020 election, an act that helped elevate her to the current position as House GOP conference chair and now Trump vice presidential hopeful. Those comments that day are what Liz Cheney called a, quote, rare moment of honesty. Cheney posted a week ago as a reminder of how Stefanik really felt in the aftermath of the Capitol attack, echoing what we just played. But a funny thing happened after that Cheney post. Stefanik's statement on the insurrection put out on January 6th was deleted from her website. Here's how it looks when you try to find it. An error message. Well, Liz Cheney caught wind of it and shared the statement again, making sure no one forgets Stefanik calling for accountability to, in her words, the, quote, perpetrators of this un-American violence. We are back here with Charlie and Claire. And Charlie, this is the albatross for a lot of Republicans who still call themselves Republicans who are elected. And it's a tough one because without doing this, you may not get elected. You may get primaried. You certainly aren't going to be the vice presidential candidate with Donald Trump. But with it, you're stuck on the wrong side of history.
Oh, very much so. You know what's really extraordinary about this is that, occasionally people will try to, change their resume or wipe out embarrassing moments from their past, right? Elise Stefanik, though, is trying to airbrush out that part in her life where she was a reasonable, rational, decent person, where she was speaking honestly because she understands now that kind of honesty may cost her a spot on Donald Trump's ticket. And if we know anything about Elise Stefanik, we know that she is the ultimate opportunist who will do anything at all to win Donald Trump's favor. So Liz Cheney just caught her out, basically trying to erase from her past that moment before she descended into being a MAGA crackpot. It's really a very revealing moment.
It is very interesting, and I want to be careful how I say this, Claire, because Liz Cheney was never not a decent person. But in terms of their policies, these two women have done a 180. Elise Stefanik was one of the more moderate versions of an elected Republican in this country, and she has had to embrace views that are not necessarily politically conservative at all, but she's had to embrace unsavory behavior, and Liz Cheney has absolutely and outwardly rejected that unsavory behavior. It is remarkable to watch. One of them is no longer essentially no longer in Congress as a result of it, and the other one might be a vice presidential candidate.
Well, there's really one big defining interest between Elise Stefanik and Liz Cheney, and that is one of them was seduced by power to totally give up her integrity. The other one was moved by her loyalty to our Constitution and to this country to do the right thing. It's that simple. If you look at their policies, frankly, if you look at their voting records, Liz Cheney had a more conservative voting record, if you take the whole voting record, than Elise Stefanik did. Elise Stefanik was somebody who was more of a moderate, not Liz Cheney. You could never have called Liz Cheney a moderate. It's just a difference between doing the right thing and basically succumbing to the lowest snake belly base interests of performative politics so that you can be powerful. And I love that Liz Cheney did this because we now know that Elise Stefanik doesn't mean that these people who have gone through court, many of whom have pled guilty, many of whom have been found guilty in our court system, she knows they're not hostages. That's what she called them. She called them hostages. That is what Donald Trump wants her to say. Now, I don't know if this will stop her from being vice president. Clearly, that's what she's aiming for. And the whole thing kind of just makes me sick to my stomach because I hate seeing bright, smart women end up laying this low to the ground like Elise Stefanik is now.
And she is that. There's no question. She's a highly educated, very sophisticated, savvy political being, and she's made some interesting choices. Charlie, thanks.